Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to see how to use TimetableMaster for making timetable and managing your substitutes. So this is the website of TimetableMaster. If you are new here, you can click on Get Started and create an account here. If you already have the account, you can click on Login. You can log in using Google, or you can log in using your email ID and password. Right now, I already have an account, so I'll just close this window and I'll go to my account. So if you have just made an account, this is how you will see the dashboard, right? You will not have any timetable. So now Timetable Master has two core functionalities. One is making the timetable, and the other is when you have a timetable and your teachers are not present, you might want to find substitutes for them, right, who are free at those periods, and you might want to keep a record of all the substitutes made so far. So you can use the substitute management for that, where our system will recommend you the best possible substitutes who can be used as a substitute for the old for the absent teacher, and it will also keep a record of all the substitutions made so far, right? So now in this video we are majorly going to focus on the generate timetable functionality, right? I'll just click here, and this is where we enter all the data regarding the timetable, right? So let's just start with the basic information. Let's just give this timetable some name, demo timetable, right? And then you can choose the number of periods per day. You can have any number of periods. I can have 7, 8, 10, 20, right? Whatever number suits me. So let's suppose I have 8 periods per day. I can also assign timing to the periods. Now the timing is completely optional. If you want timing, then you can, if you want the timing to be printed in the timetable, then you can add it here. Otherwise you can just leave it. For example, here my school starts at 8 a.m. in the morning, right? And by default it considers period duration to be 45 minutes, but you can change it, right? Let's suppose I want my periods to be 30 minutes long, so I will have a period one from 8 to 8:30, the next from 8:30 to 9, right? Likewise, and the system will then automatically fill the data for the next periods. We can also add breaks. So let's suppose we have a break after period 4, right? And the system is telling us, okay, we can have a break of 10-15 minutes, but we can change it. Maybe I want a bigger break, so the next period starts from 10:30, right? So this is how we add the data for periods and breaks. You can just close this for now. And the next is the days when the institute is operational, right? So you can choose any days, right? um, you are free to choose any days as working days for the institute, and rest of the days will be considered days off, right? If your institute has fortnightly schedule, then you can click here and you will see 2 weeks now, right? And in these 2 weeks you are free to choose the days in whatever way it suits you, right? For this demo purpose, I'll just switch to the weekly timetable, right? Now my institute is operational from Monday to Saturday. Sunday is a day off for me, right? I entered the basic data, so let's move to the next step, right? So in the next step, we are going to add subjects or courses that are being taught in my institute, right? So I can add subjects one by one, or if I have the list somewhere, then I can add it in bulk, right? So I have some data with me. I have some subjects, I have some teachers, I have some classes, right? So I'll just copy it from here. You'll see we have the subject data now. I'll just remove the dummy data. You will notice that for each subject we have some color, right? So the system automatically assigns color to each data that we are entering, and this color will also be in the printed timetable and in the timetable that we are going to see. Every card will be based upon this subject timetable subject color. Okay, let's move to the next. We can also sort this data in alphabetical order, so that it's easy for us to read or search something. We can move to the next step, right? And here we are supposed to add our teachers. So again, I have a teacher list. I can just copy it from here and I can just bulk import. If I want to add something, I can add them one by one also, or I can add them in bulk, right? Here also I can sort the data in alphabetical order. You will see all the names are in alphabetical order now. Now the teacher data is all set. We can go to class now. I already have some classes with me, so let's just copy them from here and import. So you will see we have some classes also. In the class data, you will see we have one more column here, that is class teacher, right? So class teacher is basically a homeroom teacher who will be assigned first period every day. This is completely optional. If you want this behavior, then you can assign a class teacher, otherwise you can just leave it. So for example, here we are choosing Nakosi as the class teacher for class 10A. Let me just go to class 10A and I'll choose Nakosi from here. So the system will try to schedule first class of 410A with teacher Nakosi. We entered the data, then we can add the rooms as well. Again, you can, if you have some shared rooms like maybe labs, or you can add them here. But if you just have home rooms, then you just don't need to add them here, right? Because in most cases it is quite understood where each class is supposed to happen. But if you have some shared facilities, then definitely you should add them here. So let's suppose I have a computer lab, maybe I have 2 computer labs, I will add them here, right? And maybe I can add a music room here, right? If you want to add home rooms, then you can add home rooms also, HR 6A, right? And maybe this is our home room for class 6A, but this is completely optional. All the classes will happen in homeroom if specified. And if we have specified some shared rooms for some specific activities, then the system will schedule those in the shared rooms. Now we added the rooms data also. You will see we have this availability column, right? And what does this availability column means is, if you have some conditions around availability, right? Let's suppose we have physical education as a subject with us, right? And we know that the physical education can only be taught in the last 2 periods. Okay, so what we can do is we can turn off the first 6 periods for it, right? So the system will try to schedule the physical education's lessons in the last 2 periods. Okay, we can choose day, we can choose some specific periods. We are free to choose in whatever we want, and the system will strictly follow this. Okay. Again, if you have some part-time teachers, let's suppose maybe Wilson is a part-time teacher for us, and Wilson is only available in the last 3 days, right? Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I can turn off the first 3 days for him, right? Or maybe if he is available on the last 2 periods of maybe last 4 periods of the Wednesday, right? So likewise, we are free to choose availability for teachers, classes, and subjects, and even rooms as well, right? If you have some conditions around classes, so you can define them here as well. If you have some conditions around rooms, so you can define and them here, right? So now we have added the basic data that we need for scheduling subjects, teachers, classes, rooms, right? The next data is of activities. What all activities do we need to schedule, right? And here we are telling that this is the teacher, this is the subject, and this is the class, and this teacher is going to teach or take this activity maybe 5 times a week, 10 times a week, right? We are going to define that here. So we are calling it lessons, right? And if you click here add new lesson, then you will see we have options to choose classes, we have options to choose teachers, we have options to choose subjects, and then we can define lessons per week, and then we can also define the length, right? Now length means consecutive periods. So if I say length is 2, length is 3, that means that activity will need 3 consecutive or 2 consecutive or 4 consecutive periods, right? We can choose one class, we can choose multiple classes. When we choose multiple classes, that means both or maybe more than one of those classes, they will be scheduled jointly with the selected teachers, right? And their teachers might be teaching one or more subject, and then we can define the number of lessons, and we can also define the lesson length, right? By default lesson length is 1 period, but if you have some longer lessons, some longer activities like maybe lab or something, then you can choose longer lessons as well. Okay. One more important thing to notice is we have this split classes into groups. So if we have a use case where our class is being split into multiple groups, maybe one group is being taught some subject, and the other group in the same time is being taught some other subject. So we can use this split classes into group functionality, right? So what it will does is so we can define our groups here, and then the system will schedule all of these groups at the same time, right? And for each group we can define their own teachers and own subject. So I can add more groups here, and this group name is editable. You can choose any group name here. So let's suppose we have class 10A, and in 10A I want to make maybe 3 groups. One group will be taught by teacher Campbell. This teacher is going to teach biology. The other group will be taught by, let's say, Chen. She is going to teach maybe English. We have other teacher, maybe Jackson. Jackson is going to teach geography at the same time, right? And if there is a need for some special room, so we can choose room also from here. Again, rooms are optional. If you have some activities that are supposed to happen in some rooms, then you can choose rooms also. And yeah, we can just add it, and then you will see that we have groups here, and yeah. And for the activity data we have two views. We can view the activity data class wise or teacher wise. Now the data is same, we are just grouping this on class wise or teacher wise. You will see that here we have 10A. In 10A class we have this activity. If we group it teacher wise, then you will see that we have 3 teachers, Campbell, Chen and Jackson. They are combinedly taking 5 lessons, 15 periods, right? And they are taking that in one class. Now you can add the lessons one by one, or you can add the lessons in bulk, right? And when you add in bulk, then you need to define the teacher names, class names, subject names and numbers of periods. So I already have this data with me here. Okay, I will just copy it from here, and I'll just paste it here. I'll just remove this activity data from here. So you will see now we have all the lessons data with us. We can see it class wise, or we can see it teacher wise also. You can see that we have some lessons in class 10A, and there are some lessons where class 10A and 6B are combinedly needed, right? 10A plus 7A, 10A plus 7B, 10A plus 9B, right? And then we have some lessons for class 10B. We have some lessons for class 10B plus 6A. We have some lessons for class 6A, right? Like this. So yeah, and if you want to know like what does this entry mean, you can just click here, and there will be a written explanation. Kim is going to teach languages to 7B and 8A one time a week, where each session will take 1 period, total 1 periods in a week, right? So yeah, and if you want to edit this entry, you can just click on here, and you can change the data here. Okay. If you, let's suppose you want that the Kim teacher is supposed to take the same subject, same activity in some other class too, so you can just copy it from here, and then you can just move. You can choose your class from here. So let's say maybe we want the same activity to be in class 9A also, so I can just add it, right? So you will see in 9A we will now have this activity here, right? So likewise we can add the data of lessons here. Once the data is added, we can just click on next, and we can review your data in the last step. And so in the last step you can see all the data that we entered so far and some analysis around that. So we added 12 subject, we added 10 classes, we added 25 teachers, we added one triple one lessons, and those lessons will need 378 total periods, right? And there will be some vacant slots also in the timetable throughout the week. You can see class wise distribution also. So for class 7b we added workload of 46 periods. That means for this class, two slots, two periods are going to be empty, right? For class 9a we added only data for 36 periods, where we can have 48 periods in a week. So yeah, this is like 75% occupied, and we have 25% of the class free throughout the week, right? You can also see teacher wise workload. So you will see that Johnson is taking 48 out of 48 periods, right? Miller is taking 46 out of 48 periods. Now Johnson is fully packed, and you will have some teachers who are only taking, maybe this teacher Liu is only taking one period in the entire week, right? So you can have some you can do some analysis here, and you can see whether the data that you have entered is correct or not. And if you feel that the data is not correct, then you can go here and you can just do some modifications, right? So maybe I'll go to Leo, and I'll maybe edit this, and I'll just maybe make it maybe 6 periods, right, in a week. And if you go here, you will see, okay, Lee now has 6 periods. And yeah, so okay, the data looks good to me. Now we can go ahead and generate the timetable. So we enter the data and we can click on generate timetable. Now the system has started working on it, right? As soon as, okay, so we have some schedule ready with us. You will see a real time that 223 slots are scheduled, where 8 are only unscheduled, and within a few seconds everything will be clear, right? And again, it depends upon the complexity of the data that you entered, but most of the timetables will be ready within a few seconds. Now you will see that we have scheduled everything, and now the system is optimizing it further, right? And when like optimizing, it is trying to distribute the load evenly for all the teachers and all the classes, right? We can stop it midway also, or we can let it run for a couple of more minutes, so that our timetable is evenly distributed and it is even better. So let's wait for a few more seconds. Okay, I'll just stop it here. So you can see this is our timetable. Okay, this is class view. On the left side we have classes, and on the right side we have days, and in the days we have periods, period 1 to period 8, then Tuesday period 1 to period 8, right? And you will see that for class 6a we have room HR 6a, because we assigned homeroom only for class 6a. For other classes we don't have homeroom, we just have the subject and the teacher name. Remember, we added Nakosi as the class teacher for 10A, so you will see that the period 1 for 10A is with Nakosi, right? See, and on Saturday we don't have any class, so we don't have this period. You can see teacher wise also, right? So on the left side you have teachers here, and you will see the schedule for teacher wise. Now Johnson was fully packed, so you will see that Johnson has periods like fully occupied throughout the day, throughout the week. And geography, in this class Johnson is teaching 6A and 7A together in room HR 6A, right? So yeah, I mean, this is a timetable that the system has made. Now let's suppose you might want to make some changes here, right? You might not be happy with some periods or some distribution, and let's take an example. Maybe we want that this music class should be maybe in the period 5, right? So let's try to move it from here to here, right? So if the system is detecting any conflict, it will not let you make those changes. It will tell you that what is the reason for the conflict, and it is telling us that teacher Jackson is already scheduled for period 5 on Thursday, right? Hence we cannot move this class to here, right? Because we can see that Jackson is already teaching music um, to class 7A on Thursday. So in period 5 we cannot move Jackson to one more class. So let's try maybe doing this on period 3. Okay, so on period 3 we don't have any class for Jackson, so we were able to move it here, and we can just save the timetable now. Now this is the timetable, right? And if you want to take a printout of it, let's suppose uh, you can export it in both ways. You can export the data in Excel sheet, right? And then you can print it from there, or you can download PDF also. So in PDF we have 4 options. You can download the PDF of like class wise, or you can download the PDF teacher wise, or you can download class wise individual pages where like each class will uh, each class schedule will be printed in one page. So let's maybe see this timetable. Let's see this. So you will see that we have the timetable printed here. Monday all classes, Tuesday all classes, Wednesday all classes. For every day we have one page, right? Saturday you can just click on maybe a teacher wise individual pages. So you'll see we have this Ahmed's full schedule, we have Anderson's full schedule here, we have Campbell's full schedule here, and this is Johnson's full schedule, fully packed, right? And then we have Kim's full schedule here, we have Lewis full schedule here, right? And you can also download the Excel sheet, or if you want to show breaks in the printed timetable, so you can just click here. So you will also see the breaks. Now let's go back to the dashboard. So on the dashboard you will see that we have a timetable now, demo timetable, that is in draft mode, right? Let's suppose we work on the timetable and maybe we want to try a new version. So what you can do is you can easily make a copy from here. So we made a copy here, and then again we can just edit it. We can make some changes here in the lessons or in the classes, right? And we can go to the last step. So because we had made a copy from the last timetable, and last timetable had a schedule as well, so we can click on generate again, and it will again generate a new version of the timetable. I'll just stop it here, right? So likewise we can do some experimentations. We can make copy, and we can do some changes, and we can see how the timetable is looking now, right? Let's go back to dashboard. So we have 2 timetables here now, and we don't have any published timetable. So published timetable means that is our official schedule. And if we feel that the timetable being generated is good enough, right, for us, and we have made some manual changes also, and we feel that this is the official schedule for my school, right? So we can just click on publish timetable, right? And as we publish it, we can start using substitute module also. So in the substitute module you will see the teacher names here, right? And you will see their periods. So because this teacher doesn't have any periods on Monday, let's take maybe Johnson. So Johnson has all the periods here, right? And let's suppose Johnson is not available on 12th of this month, right? We can click on mark absent here. We can choose some specific periods, and then the system will tell us, okay, these are the people who are free in this period and who can be used as a substitute. So we can select any teacher from here, and we can add some notes here, and we can confirm a substitute. The substitute data can be seen here, right? And we can export this data to CSV. We can also see the schedule from here, right? Yeah, this is it.